I know.
Yeah,
Billy, for not preparing anything, I think you're lying to us, but that was excellent. Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone else has anything that they want to share or add. It's okay.
We'll have to stay.
It's just a small thing, and I did not take the Burton name when I married into this family, and without fail, Roy always called me Wanro. In fact, I think he did it. He did it somewhat as a joke, but I always really enjoyed it.
Yes, he was a nickname kind of guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a nickname guy. Oh.
I have Terry. For Mary, he says it's Mayor. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Janet. Should I try to? Janet. If I talk in here?
Yeah, you can
tell
talk
my
in here,
story?
Mary.
Okay, so I'm gonna try a little bit. So I called often when Ann and Roy were first married, and Roy would pick up the phone and say hello, and I would say, "It's Mare," and he would say, "It's Mare." And so whenever he saw me, that's what he called me, Laurel. He called me, "It's Mare." That's my name. And so we would vacation together a lot. We would go to Beaver Island, and so I'm there, and Roy comes up with this idea that there's a guided nature tour that we should go on, right? Of course, he was all into that. So all the kids wanted to go, and Roy was going to take them. There was 3 or 4 families worth of children, and I said, "I'll go along." And I didn't care about the nature trail. I wanted to keep an eye on my kids. So we're on the trail, and Bill, you talked about his love of wildlife. And what I say about Roy is it encompassed all animals, everything that creeped and crawled and was slimy. And so we're on this nature trail. The guide is just like Roy, like so excited. Roy is so excited. All the kids are so excited, and they're all touching and every slimy, dirty thing. And I'm just like, I'm horrified a little bit. And I said, okay, when this is over, we are all going to wash our hands. So at the end of the day, they didn't really care for me, and they were all in love with Roy.
Okay, I just have a short anecdote, but it's an important one. I was there when Roy got his start in business. I don't know, we were maybe 10, maybe I was 10, he was 8, and we were living on 3rd Street. So we went out front and set up a lemonade stand. And we sold lemonade, probably for a nickel a glass or something like that. And when the day was over, we made some money. We had $1.50 or $2 or something like that. So we put away the lemonade stand, and I looked around because we had a little container with all the money in it. And I said, "Roy, where's the money?" He says, "Well, I'm keeping it." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I worked harder than you." And I knew at that point I was not going into business. And he was.
He was always had clever things. You know, a year ago or 2, we came to visit him, and he was very proud of his latest invention, which was a dollar bill presser. Did any of you see this thing? It was a little vise he made out of wood, and he he invented this thing so that he could refill the changer and they would work in the machine. The idea is to put in 5 and get out 5 ones, and then you can use the machines, which take $1 bills. So he would bring home huge wads of $1 bills and set up his vise and press money. I mean, how many people, press money, right? And he would do this so that the laundromat would function smoothly.
That's really smart. You still have it in?
Caitlin, did
You
we
could really get a patent for something like that.
Where's the dollar gold press?
I don't know where it is now, but when Theo met my dad, he walked into the room and my dad was sitting there with a big old money clamp like on his lap.
That was Theo's first impression of Roy. He showed him the dollar bill press. That's what Cap just said. I don't know if you heard.
No, we could barely hear.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I told you.
Me and my sister Jakey have a nickname. Jakey, do you remember that when you worked at Loyola and sometimes Roy gave us a ride home and he called us Roser 2 and Roser 7?
Oh my God. Well, I remember a lot of those rides, Anne, but I don't remember that I was Roser 7. That's so funny. What I remember was on Fridays, Roy would drive me because you were at the pub with your friends. So Roy would drive me home, and he would tell me how in love he was with you, and he was going to marry you.
Okay, I have 2 fishing stories. We went up to Suburban Lodge a number of times, and Roy and I would go out together. And, Roy's holy grail was the 20-pound northern pike, okay? And we'd go out in the afternoon. He was obsessed with this, pretty much like Captain Ahab. And we went out, and one afternoon we were in the middle of the lake, and Roy he went deep. He says that you got to go deep for these things. He goes deep, and he hooks a walleye. Now, walleyes themselves can be up to 2 or 3 pounds. They're sizable things. And he's reeling it in, and then his eyes grow huge because following the walleye was a fish many times bigger with its mouth open, ready. So the 3-pound walleye was merely bait for here it was, the proverbial 20-pound northern pike, or 25 pounds, according to the guide. Well, guess what? It missed. And he only got the 3-pound fish. The last time he liked one of those pictures was him with his best fish, maybe. Well, he did salmon fishing in Alaska, but you saw that picture of him. That's a lake trout he caught right off Chicago, and I went with him once on that, and he, only like a month or 2 ago, he sent me the movie of that thing with me with the rod bent double over the side of the boat. With a big one on. And in that one, that was my turn to miss the big one because the guide went down with his net and missed the fish, and the fish got away. So I have to dig up this letter and this kind of encapsulates Roy's approach to the world and nature versus academics. And I think he might have sent it when I graduated from South Kent, which is now 51 years ago. And they had an assembly hall with the honor roll people actually got their names up on the wall behind where the senior prefects assemble. And if you were in the honor roll, you got your name up there in gold letters, I don't know what it was, brass or something. And Rod's class, I looked at it many times. There were 3 of them, and Rod can probably name the other two, but there was Rod Burton up there. And then Roy was class of 60, but of course there was no Roy Burton up there because, as he said to me in this letter, you know, Bill, I didn't aspire to get up on that wall. I aspired to get on top of Bull Mountain. Bull Mountain was the peak that overlooked the campus. That was his idea. That was his priority, was to get out and relate to nature. And he encapsulated it beautifully with that one sentence. You know, not the honor roll wall, but the wall up, the real mountain. You know, outside your window.
That's cool. That's a neat story.